Hi, Dallas. Nice to see you again.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me.
Been so long since I last saw you.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'd like to start off by thanking Tom George with Tag Publicity for setting this up for us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So he's a great guy. I've been working with them for a couple years now,
Yep, we love Tom.
and he sent me the album. I don't know if you saw the review, but I couldn't sing your guys' praises enough.
Yeah,
Uh,
I read it. Yeah, for the deluxe version, right? Or the original?
the deluxe, yeah, the
Yeah,
deluxe, yeah. Uh, Great stuff you guys got going on there. Just
yeah. Thank you.
just a great variety of different sounds and
Hmm.
um how do you guys go about the writing process? Like is it because the song like when I'm gone, like
Right.
the song starts off with you. You know, you're doing the lead intro,
Hmm.
the song,
Yeah.
getting the tempo going.
Hmm. Yeah, the songwriting process kind of is different for each song, but generally for just about everything on Dirty Damn Tricks and Sense, it starts with a seed, usually from me. And then that seed could be a full demo complete with lyrics. That seed could be a chorus. That seed could be a few guitar riffs strung together into like a 1 minute demo. I'm sitting in my studio now. You see, this is where I record everything that we do.
Right.
So it's easy for me to just grab a guitar and record a demo, program drums, program bass, go in the booth, lay down some scratch vocals, and send out a song to everyone. And everyone can be like, "Oh, okay, this is good. This is bad. This we could change this. We could do this." And then we kind of take it from there, and everybody puts their print on it, and things kind of go that way. So once we have the demo set, if we're happy with it, which we have been for a lot of album two so far, um, it's easy to just get people in here one by one to just start laying down their parts. We don't have to follow a specific order. We do drums last a lot of times because I just program them, so we have them there anyway.
Right.
We can basically go on everybody's schedule. Hey, who's free, this week? Okay, I could do this. All right, let's do bass because we have, and then we just go through and slowly replace my demo tracks with the real tracks, and then we end up with a full song. We did that with pretty much everything on Dirty Damn Tricks and Sense. It's kind of a unique writing process, but I think it's a more modern way to do things. We don't go into a studio. We don't pay $200 an hour for somebody who doesn't care about our music to sit back there, drink a beer at the desk, waiting on. We don't do that so much, and then you have all the pressure associated with that, and we got to nail this take, and then everybody starts getting frustrated, and then you shit out an album that sucks, and we don't we don't have the finances behind us to go into a studio like for months. So we have, we
Yeah.
could do like a weekend. So, we need to make sure what we did is we just do it all ourselves. We just got good at recording over the past decade or so, individually. And then we do everything ourselves. So we keep it all in house. We have unlimited time. I've had a few times where I've come in to do like, oh, I'm going to do a couple guitar solos today. And then sit down and I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. This is not happening. Just put this down, do something else. We'll come back tomorrow, next week, whenever. So it kind of allows us, sometimes it can end up dragging things out, but a lot of times we can use inspiration more readily because whenever we're inspired, we can just come down here and get it done instead of trying to force inspiration on a clock.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a unique way to approach it. And
It allows us to be
it's really
creative
hands
too.
on.
Yeah, we're allowed to be creative too because we'll come up with a lot of the ideas in the studio because we're able to, where if you're recording, well, most bands will play live in a room together, write the song, and then they go record it. And I've been a part of bands like that, and then you listen back to the recording and you're like, oh my God, that's what you were playing on bass? That sucks, dude. We got to change that at once. Like, we can't have that. You're hitting all the wrong notes. Like, did you never learn the riff? Like, stuff like that. And in this band, we're able to lay it down and sit back for 2 seconds and go, that sucks. Let's change that. And okay, let's change this riff. Oh, that's what you were doing? I didn't know that. I'm going to do this now. And we were able to do all that in real time together. And we end up, a lot of times we'll write a quick skeleton of a song. And then we'll know that when we go in to record it, everybody starts adding extra stuff and changing stuff gets changed. And we've changed whole choruses, whole drum beats, all kinds of after the fact with editing and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I don't really subscribe to the old school, like, let's put it on tape, let's get five guys in a room, let's make the magic happen. Like, yeah, that's cool. But we can do that our way too. Like, we can make magic happen our way as well. We don't have to do it, the old school way. So it's really hard for all of us to get in the same room. So we can barely make it happen for gigs and rehearsals and stuff. So it's not going to happen. So like, a lot easier for us. All the bass is done virtually on Zoom. We've been doing all the bass
Oh,
sessions that way because our bass lives a little further away than the rest of us, and he's got his own studio. So I just sit with him on Zoom, and kind of produce the session, and we throw ideas at each other, and then he sends me the file at the end of the night. I drop it in, we listen to it. Yeah, that's good, done. So it's been really efficient way to do things.
Oh, that sounds cool. Because I mean, you've got the first song I heard from you guys was Mr. Danger, and then
Sure, that came pretty late in the writing process. Actually, I had that idea, that intro riff. I had that idea. Driz was over at my house tweaking a pedal. He's like, "You got to check out this pedal." So he's down on the ground tweaking sounds, and I'm just playing that riff over and over again.
right,
And I'm thinking like this could be like a riff. It sounds kind of like AC/DC, but it's also changing time signatures, which AC/DC never does. So
no,
that makes
that's
it, that
true.
makes it feel like, because it's alternating bars of 6/4 and 4/4, which is something AC/DC, and to my knowledge, I'm not the deepest AC/DC fan, but they've never touched odd meters or anything like that, to my knowledge. Maybe a couple spots. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing, and I kept hearing like, well, where does it go from here? I was like, it needs to drop into like a Highway to Hell, like chuggy open chord kind of riff. And so we played around with a bunch of different variations of that before we came up with that. Then we kind of, once I had those two riffs, I came up with the rest of the song really quickly, demoed it out, sent it to the guys. I was like, guys, I know we have most of the album done, but I just came up with this one. What do you think? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, I think you should open the thing. I had all the verses and everything done, and we had the choruses done shortly after, and it kind of just came together really quick.
Well, yeah, because when I first heard the song, I'm like, oh, here we go. They got a riff that's very AC/DC, and then you switch it into something totally different, and then you get the chorus going, and it's like, oh wow, like this
Yeah.
is this is sounding really good.
Anytime someone says we just sound like AC/DC, I know they haven't listened to more than 30 seconds of the first song.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because if you made it to the pre-chorus, you're already out of AC/DC territory, and if you made
Oh,
it to
you
the
are,
chorus,
yeah.
it's
It's
a
just that
big,
opening riff, but
yeah.
I
But
mean,
the chorus is a big pop chorus with like 5 harmonies in it. Like,
yeah.
point me to the AC/DC song that does that, because I haven't found it. I just have not found it. So
Well, I
yeah,
mean, cult,
draw
cult,
inspiration from so many different places.
yeah, the cult in the '90s, they ended up sounding like AC/DC.
Who's not going to sound like one of the most influential rock bands? It's silly to say.
Yeah,
So everybody sounds like everybody to someone. So it's like, who
you
cares?
can you can pick and choose. You can pick and choose who you think they sound like, right?
The one thing that most people don't realize, because is, they're usually telling me or someone in the band what they think we sound like. So we get the benefit of hearing all the different things people say, where they only know the one thing that they thought, oh, you sound like Jackal. They've probably never heard that before. You sound like Jackal. It's like, dude, we've heard that from 50 people today. Like, but we get to hear, all the different ones. And the fact that they're all so different that people say, the conclusion that we draw is, oh, okay, we kind of have our own thing going. Like, because we keep hearing like everybody says Guns N' Roses, Love, Hate, Jackal, AC/DC, this, that, whatever. And we're just like, okay, cool. We're on the right track. We're doing our own thing. We're getting a lot of different things thrown at us. So yeah, man, it's good.
Well, and you have such a different variation of, um, you know, like When I'm Gone, the ballad, and then, Oh Sugar. Even the video is a fun video. Like you guys are just hanging out at an arcade.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah. It's an arcade bar in our hometown. It's pretty cool.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I'm just
All
like
the classic
they.
rock pinball machines and stuff. It's a really cool place.
I'm like they had too much fun shooting that video.
Yeah, that was a really laid back shoot. We had 2 days, and they just let us basically run the bar. So we went in there on a
Oh,
Saturday night when it was full of people and got those shots. Those ended up being not as usable just because of lighting and people and consent
right.
forms and all that stuff. And we went back Sunday morning before they opened, and we had the whole place to ourselves for most of the day. So we just kind of run around and, all right, you're up, go back there and film a couple takes, and then I'll go up. And there was never enough room for us all to set up at once, so we kind of did it
Yeah.
in pieces. But it was pretty cool. One of my favorite shots, we were shooting by this air hockey table, and it had these strobing colored lights. And I was talking to Ridge, our videographer. I was like, that could be cool if we get him to lay down on the table and we could use those flashing strobing lights as our lights. So Ridge got up on a ladder and pointed down on top of Alvy singing. So he's laying on an air hockey table with those lights that are like built into the thing, strobing all these crazy colors. And it was just pretty cool. It worked out.
Wow. Yeah. Again, just flying by the seat of your pants sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We kind of definitely, I don't know how to describe it. We're scrappy.
Or inventive, like just
Yeah, maybe.
allowing things to happen as they will.
Yeah,
It's
we
like you say
plan. We yeah.
with the whole writing process or the forming of the songs, it's all yeah, it's all just a team effort.
Yeah, I think we try to cultivate good taste. So once we come up with something that all of us are like, yeah, that's good, we know it's good.
Right.
So and we've now we didn't know it when we were writing the album, but now we've received validation that other people think it's good too. So now we trust our instincts a little bit more. Okay, we think it's good, other people are probably going to think it's good. So we'll go with that, and hopefully it keeps working.
But how much because you guys have put the music out, how much are you hoping comes back positive? Is that something that you obviously as an artist you strive for that, you strive for people to like
Yeah, of course.
you
Yeah.
put out, but you can't let that ruin your day if somebody's like, oh, these guys absolutely suck.
Yeah,
They
it's
sound
it's
like
tricky. You
every
want to write good stuff that people like, but you can't let it become like art by committee because that always sucks.
yes.
You can't take every comment and be like, well, this guy says we sound too much like AC/DC, so let's dial that back 10%. This guy sounds like we don't sound like AC/DC enough, so let's dial that back up 10%. Well, now we've done nothing. So we can't, we just kind of have to do our own thing. But to be fair, I'm sure there's negative stuff floating out there about us, but I don't come across it very often on our YouTube page or whatever. I don't see very much negativity, which is nice. We don't put out a lot of negativity, so it's nice to not see it coming our way either. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but
Well, wait for song or wait for album number two. Maybe you'll get it.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Maybe they'll be like, oh, they suck now.
Yep. Some negativity might mean we're reaching more people though, so that could be fun.
Yeah, that's true. Because look what happened to Metallica when they sold out.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, every seat in every arena they played. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that Lars quote.
What's that? Oh, every seat in every arena.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure that's a Lars quote. Yeah, it's like, did we sell out? Hell yeah! Every seat in every arena we played for.
For how long?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you're gonna get hate when you're at the top. That's for sure.
I saw them on their Injustice for All tour, and the cult actually opened for them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Back in the
Their
day.
Love Removal Machine had just come out, or the
Okay. Yeah,
yeah, that
that's a good
album.
album.
Yeah. So, who are your inspirations? Because there's definitely some. I don't know. There's a mix. We'll say.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
It's a
not going to
nice
say you
amalgam. Yeah.
guys specifically sound like anybody because I think that's. I don't like to generalize a band because you guys are pretty young. You're up and coming, but there's obviously influences. Who influenced you to pick up
Uh,
the guitar? And was that
yeah.
your
To
first
to pick up a guitar, it was when I first heard Guns N' Roses and Slash and stuff. That's what made me pick up a guitar. And I started diving into that pretty heavily. And then I moved on quickly to like Paul Gilbert and those kind of guys. So once I got into that, I kind of started getting into much more complicated playing and stuff like that. And then did a bunch of stuff and then kind of took it full circle back to kind of the blues rock sound that we have now. And yeah, it's really nice. We have a bunch of guys that our music tastes go every different direction you could ever think of. The one thing you won't hear us play in our van very often is just rock and roll. We almost never listen to it. We're always listening to something weird or crazy or out there. And I think that's pretty fresh because it's like, if you're an accountant, you're probably not going to do accounting when you go home. You want
right?
some, you want some distance and some change and something that you can come back to it the next day with fresh ears and feel better about it than constantly listening to like, Sweet Child of Mine. It's like, I've heard it. We're good. Like, I know exactly every note. Like, we're fine. I know what it sounds like. I've taken what I can from that song for sure, and a lot of other songs. So I don't need to constantly hear them, but they're always there and they're always an influence.
Well, he is a fairly renowned guitarist worldwide.
Yeah, maybe the most. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard pressed to find someone more famous.
Right. Well, I
I,
mean, you
th-
can go
I
back.
think when you've reached the ultimate level of fame when your silhouette is famous. There's only a few people that their silhouette's famous, and he's one of them.
Well, and they get a Funko Pop of him too, don't they?
Yeah, I have it on one of my desks at home. I have Axel, Duff, and Slash all in a little triangle.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
Every time I
Jimmy Page doesn't even have that.
I know, right? Exactly. Yeah, and Jimmy Page, I mean, would his silhouette be famous? I guess if we know guitar players, of course, maybe. But if you just go up to the street and have five silhouettes of people and they're all famous guitar players, every person's going to point out Slash first.
Yeah. Well,
Before
it's
Van
the hat.
Halen, before, yeah,
It's the
exactly. It's the
hat and the
hat, it's the
hair.
hair, it's the low guitar. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Page would be easy though, because they could just put the bow in his hand.
Have the bow, yeah, but the
Yeah.
silhouette, you wouldn't even really see it. You just see like an elbow up.
True. Unless they highlight the bow, make it pink
Yeah,
or something.
I'm thinking like Van Halen maybe, but I don't even know. I don't even
Yeah.
know who else would.
Yeah, Eddie, because they could do the tape guitar that's the one
Mhm.
that he made himself.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a cool one. But yeah, it was always Guns N' Roses. But then the band we throw in a lot of inspirations from like funk and like Prince, and then we were a Journey cover band for a long time. Well, not a long time, but before we were this, some of us were in a Journey tribute together.
Oh,
So
really?
we love all the harmonies. All five of us sing, so we are able to do things like that. Um, and we throw some of that in, and then we love just pop hooky choruses that you can't help but bob your head and sing. So we throw all that in, and that's not super rock and roll necessarily, but every song we write has to pass what we call the chorus test, which means it just has to be a banging chorus. Because if it's not, we just don't want to release it. So we've gone back to the drawing board on songs many times to get a better chorus.
Well, that's the thing ultimately too, is at the end of the day, when you guys go out to tour the album, you're the ones who have to go out there and play this every single show. And you don't want to be kicking yourself and
Yep.
going, well, geez, what do we record this piece of crap for? Because I hate playing it now. It's
Yep.
garbage.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny you hear some stories. I don't know how true these are of people hating to play their most famous songs. I feel like that's probably BS because as soon as you play the first two notes of Sweet Child of Mine and the entire stadium erupts,
Yeah,
that can't get old. There's no way that gets old. And you're sitting here like this sucks. Like there's no way. There's no way. I
I can
call
do
that.
this in my sleep.
Yeah. I think the famous one was Janie Lane not liking cherry pie. I don't know about that. We can't ask him anymore, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
and I had heard someone say Slash doesn't enjoy playing Sweet Child of Mine. I don't know how true that is either. I've never heard him say anything like that. So probably something somebody made up one time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I first heard them when they first came out, and they had Welcome to the Jungle, and it was actually Jim Carrey was pretending to be Axl Rose in the Deadpool with Clint Eastwood,
Uh-huh.
and they were shooting him. He was shooting a music video to the Guns N' Roses song, and that's when
Hmm.
I first heard the song.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I missed all that, unfortunately. I was born in 92, so it was all over by the time I came around.
I think that was '88 that came out. Deadpool.
Appetite was 87 and Use Your Illusion was 91.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I was around for Chinese Democracy, though, so that was like 2008, I think.
Beginning back to the I had heard Robin Zander say that he was sick of singing The Flame because that's their most requested song now.
Hmm.
And they didn't actually even write the song. And Robin or Rick Nielsen doesn't like playing it either.
Yeah, that's interesting, too. I don't know. They got plenty. They're good.
I know, right?
Yeah. It is super annoying when you see the artist that comes out and like just plays the new stuff. And it's like, I mean, you gotta like, dude, we paid tickets. Like, you know why we paid tickets. Don't pretend like you don't know why we're here. Like, we're not here for the new stuff. I promise. Like,
Yeah. We'll
like,
buy it, we'll listen to it at home, but we came here for the soul. I
yeah.
want you to want me and
If you're a nostalgia act, you got to play into the nostalgia. You have to. It's
yeah,
it's your job.
yeah,
So
exactly.
like yeah, you're classified as a nostalgia act a lot of times. So I don't know what that even means. I don't know how to classify that, but a lot of those like we played a gig with Faster Pussycat and LA Guns not too long ago, and that was
Oh,
I think they'd probably maybe fall into that category. I don't know, but they're definitely part of that group that came up at LA that I always liked. So it
yeah.
was cool to do that.
They good people.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we didn't have too much interaction with them. Kind of did our own thing, but yeah, man, we did.
They're
We came.
like, oh, these are the new guys. We'll just let them sit in the corner over there. Sort of.
Uh, we we did our thing on stage. Everybody knew it, so it was all good. It
Oh, okay.
was a very stark contrast, I think, but it was cool.
So you guys went ahead and got yourself a new singer. How that all happened? Did you?
Oh well, we got our original singer back. Yeah,
Oh,
we wrote "Dirty Damn Tricks," most of it with Goliath, and then we parted ways at the beginning of the pandemic. Got Alvy. Alvy recorded it, and then we only played like 3 shows with Alvy, and then we were back with Goliath. So,
oh,
yep,
okay. So
yep.
he's
And
not
it was
he's
it
not
was
new anymore because
no, he's older than Alvy for sure by a lot. But so it was nice. We kind of felt like we got the band back together instead of having what we had. But it was cool. It was really good because we decided not to make any big public announcements or anything because we knew everyone would be like, "Oh, these guys are done. Can't replicate that voice." And I have, plenty to say about that off air. But there was, there was, yeah. So we had played a few shows with Goliath, and nobody said a word. Nobody even knew we had changed singers. I was like, "Have you seen them next to
Oh,
each other? They're literally, if you hit invert, like they're the opposites of each other." So like Alvy's clean shaven, short hair. Goliath has a huge beard,
I
long curly.
know. Yeah.
Like it's like they're different heights. It's like there's no way, but nobody knew. Nobody had a clue. So we took that as a good sign and just kept rolling, and we have not heard a single bad thing. So
Wow. That's great. That's great that you were able to. Did you kind of just pick him out, or you guys went through this?
no, we had him. He was our original singer, so we were doing gigs and covers and stuff for a long time together. And then we just parted ways during COVID because everybody was kind of down on what was going on, and it was tough to figure out how to keep the band going because we were a cover band and all of our gigs were now canceled. So we were
Right.
kind of figuring all that stuff out, and then we just moved forward without him for a little bit, and then got him back in about a year and a half later.
Wow.
Yep. So it's been over a year now that he's been back. So we did UK, we did all this stuff with him. So it was cool. And the video that won us on the Kiss cruise was a video of him live with us.
Oh, you guys were on the Kiss cruise.
We're about to be, yeah, a couple weeks
Oh,
out. Yep. So
nice.
we won a competition, and we'll be going on the Kiss cruise to play with Kiss and Black Label Society and Richie Kotz, tons of people, Sebastian Bach. It'll be super cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have
How
that. We have
exciting
that
is
going
that?
on. Yeah, that's super exciting. We have that going on, and then we're going back to Europe again in December. So we'll be there most of December, and then that'll bring our 2022 to a close. We've gone to Europe twice this year, so that's pretty cool. So we're all over the place. So nothing slowed us down, and we knew it wouldn't. That's why we didn't
Right.
make a huge announcement about it because we didn't want other people to, because they would make it slow us down for us. And like, no, 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 no. Like we control this. Like if we slow down, it's our fault. We're not gonna let the fans slow us down.
Right.
So we'll just kind of just skip over this real quick. No one will notice a thing. A couple people might. We'll explain to them what's going on, and then everyone will be good. And we'll just move on. It'll be good. And that's exactly what happened. So here we are over a year later, and nobody's or right at a year, and yeah, nobody's really said anything negative. So it's great.
Well, it is good to hear that you guys are getting such positive feedback. And you're going to be on the Kiss cruise. Like,
Hmm.
these guys are nobody. I saw them in 2011, and man, they still put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, man, we're excited. It's pretty cool. Legends. So
Definitely.
there's some famous silhouettes for you, all four of them.
Right. Well, Gene, he just has to
Yeah,
open his arms. He's got the
yeah.
bat wings, right?
They all have the boots and crazy,
Yeah.
so, yeah, spikes everywhere. They look like they're going to
Right.
war.
Well, speaking of tours, any plans of coming up here to Canada at all?
Are you in like the Toronto area on the east side?
I'm in Vancouver area.
Ah, so like the complete farthest possible way you could be from us. Probably not. Probably not soon. Hopefully next year.
Well, yeah, you're doing all the tours with Kiss, and then you got Europe.
Yeah,
I was
yeah, well, yeah. Hopefully next year, but more than likely, probably the one after that or the one after that, because it's just touring's so expensive. People do not realize, like,
Oh, I can only
just
imagine.
plan a trip for just yourself to come see me in Charlotte, and then multiply that by 5, and then
Yeah.
that's just one day, and then multiply that out by 2 weeks, and then let me know the numbers you see, and then we'll try to book shows that'll pay us that amount, if not, because we
Right.
need more, right? And it's just like it's so much more expensive than people realize. But yeah, we're trying to get everywhere we possibly can. We haven't played Canada yet. We haven't actually played too much in the States even because we're still a pretty young band.
Right.
We went over to Europe and everyone in Europe loved us. So we decided, okay, well, they're really digging what we're doing, our original music, not our covers. And we come home and some people dig our original music. Most people just want to hear us play Welcome to the Jungle or whatever. So
Right.
what we're going to do is while we're here at home, we're going to stay local. We're going to keep the expenses low gas, no hotels, this, that. We're going to play in our local area and play a bunch of cover shows, fatten that bank account up, fly back over to Europe, make a bunch of fans, come back, do it all again. We're just going to keep that cycle going, see how it works. So because we're having to grassroots this stuff. We don't have record label backing. We don't have an investor backing. We don't have, you know, rich mommies and daddies helping us out. So we're trying to make it happen for ourselves, and we'll see. We'll see where we get.
Yeah, because Rush did that. They were more popular over in Europe than they were
Tons of
in
people.
Canada.
Jimi Hendrix did that. Jimi Hendrix had to
Yeah,
go get big in England
yeah,
before he came back, and we're gonna have to do this the Jimi Hendrix way, I think, because nobody, not nobody, but America is tough right now. They're not really paying attention to rock and roll, it seems, unless it's just literally shoveled down their throat, like Greta Van Fleet or something else, you know. And that's
right.
that record label money and that investor backing money and all that stuff. It takes that money to shove down somebody's throat music,
Yeah,
right? We don't have that kind of money, so I mean, a single radio campaign can be like multiple tens of thousands of dollars, and that's for like a couple months. So
yeah,
like, we definitely don't have that. We could have that if we did nothing else, but we're trying to tour and do this and go to Europe and flights and all, you know, all that stuff. So that's where our money's going right now. Going back to Europe, playing in front of people that are buying tickets and coming to see us play our music. Where right now over here we're playing places where people are just coming to see, you know, cover music or whatever. They don't even
yeah.
necessarily know. You know, halfway through the show, they're like, "Oh, these guys play original music." They have no idea. So we're, you know, but what's good about that is it's really honing our skills as a band because we can play 6 hours of music across all genres. So, you know, we can do like 24 Guns N' Roses songs. We can do all of our stuff. We can do, you know, 40, 50 variety songs, and we're always adding to it. So it's really fun. We can pull out these things live and just look at each other and be like, "You want to try that one? Oh, we haven't done it in a few years. Let's see how it goes." You know, and it's just a pretty huge variety of stuff we can throw at the wall that you would never expect us to be able to play.
Nice. Well, like you said, you got Prince and a whole bunch of other, and you
Yeah,
got
we do a Prince part. We do, you know, lots of pop like Bruno Mars, the Killers, you know, all kinds of stuff. So
nice. Um, when did the band form? I mean, you said you guys have been tribute tribute
yeah,
stuff
that
so
Journey
long.
tribute was like 2017, and then we kind of parted ways with that and decided like let's do our own thing. So we started kind of writing some stuff, and we had a couple songs like "Peace of Mind" was the first one written. That was in like 2018 or something. And then we released a little EP with Goliath, and we were just doing mostly cover shows. And then Goliath left, so we just decided let's just start over. We'll scrub the EP, and we'll just come out with Dirty Damn Tricks, and we'll get Tom, our PR guy, on board. He'll help us kind of blast it out, and that'll be kind of our starting point. So we
Right.
did that, and that came out last year, 2021, and then now here we are in 2022. The deluxe edition just came out, and we have a new single we're trying to get done. I mean, the single's done, but we're working on the video, which is pretty ambitious, and we're trying to get that done to release on the Kiss Cruise. So that'll be cool. And we
Oh, wow.
might have another single later this year as well. So
And
those
this
are
is
all going to be
this
fresh
is
music.
off album number 2.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah. So that's well underway. We're about halfway done with it, and we're just going to decide which ones to release in what order. And we're still recording pieces and stuff like that. So
Right.
writing a lot of it still. So we're like right in the middle of that. We haven't had a ton of time to really sit down and work on it because we've been playing so much.
Darn, eh?
Right? Yeah. Yeah, when you see those UK bills, it's like, all right, well, we can work backwards now. We need this many gigs. Like, let's start going. Like, so it doesn't leave a lot of time, but we've been getting some stuff done.
How many dates do you have over in Europe? How many gigs are you going to be
I
playing?
think we're there for like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
That'll be, you know, I'm up on my UK geography now. I know all of the UK places at this point, so that's pretty fun. You
So
know.
you guys headlining over there? Are you
Yeah, we're doing one. We're starting off with a festival, and which we're not headlining, and then we're headlining the rest of the stuff. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. I bet.
Yeah, we had a blast in May. So we were there for a good chunk of May, and then we did Spain as well. And then this time we're just doing the UK. The mainland stuff is a little sketchy right now with cancellations and things like that. So we pushed all that to next year, but we're still doing the big UK run. So that'll be fun.
Nice. Well, I wish you guys the best. I hope the Kiss cruise is as awesome as it sounds.
Yeah, man.
You're
Yeah,
with. Have you met Zach Wild before?
no, this is actually funny. I have not. I don't have any memory of meeting him. And I was scrolling through my phone the other day, and I saw I have his phone number.
Oh, really?
I have no memory of why I have Zach Wild's phone number in my phone. No memory at all. And I showed my bass player. I was like, "Look at this. Why do I have this?" And he was like, "Well, he was like, that's the right area code. Like, that must be his actual number." But it's like, I'm absolutely not going to call or text it. But it's just crazy that I have it in my phone. I have no
Yeah,
idea why.
really.
Like, I don't remember putting it there myself, so I have no
That's
idea.
trippy.
Yeah, I had a few different people that in my phone, and I know why most of them are there. But that one, I just had absolutely no idea why that was there because I don't have any memory of ever speaking to him or anything. So
They
it's
just
kind of
go up to him and go, "Is
yeah. Is
this
this
you?
you? Is this you? Can I text you? Yeah,
Or are you
that's
gonna block me as a
yeah.
stalker?"
I'll just text him sitting at the table across from him. I see you. See, he's gonna be
Totally
like,
freak him out.
yeah, what the hell? Like, starts looking around. It's just me.
Yeah, he's a big biker dude though. He'd be pretty intimidating if he got pissed
He's
off.
pretty big. He's a pretty big guy. Everything I've seen of him though, he's a super nice guy.
I
So
know.
yeah, I'm sure he'd get a little chuckle out of it. It is kind of weird that I have his number though, because I have no idea why or how. So I can't explain that. But and it's probably changed 10 times since whatever I have. So probably not.
Possibly, yeah. Because I would imagine that some of the wrong people might have that number too, right?
Yeah, a lot of I don't I wouldn't say he's particularly high up the celebrity scale, but when you compare him to people like, Joe Rogan or something, but
Yeah.
uh, celebrities definitely change their phone numbers like once every like couple months. So um, yeah,
Well,
it's kind of
he's
all
pretty
right.
high up there in the metal community
The
in
metal
terms,
community, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
For guitar players, yeah, he's
Yeah, and for
pretty,
guitar players especially, but
yeah.
that's a much smaller community than like the general public.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
fit
you
into
look,
that. I fit into
yeah,
that category.
yeah. Well,
I'm not,
some of us fit in the guitar playing category, but all of us fit in the general public category. So
yeah.
it's like, we all know who the Kardashians are, whether we want to or not. We all know who they are. We don't all know who Paul Gilbert is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is a certain level of anonymity some of these guys get to enjoy, I'm sure. Where Paul Gilbert can probably just go to the grocery store and be fine. Uh, Other people cannot. So, and
Yeah.
Paul's a tall guy too. He's like 6'4" or something. So
Oh
he's
wow, really?
real tall guy, real kind of lanky, and he's real hard of hearing. So he has to bend down to your level with his tongue. What'd you say? Like, yeah, really nice guy though, and obviously just one of the best guitar players alive. So one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, I mean, before Kiss did Unmasked, I mean, they could go anywhere if
Yep.
they just out in general public.
Yeah, they look
Eh,
so different. Just pull your hair back, get the makeup off, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Kind of get the best of both worlds, I guess. But yeah,
Then
I
they
mean, it
took the
made
makeup
sense.
off, and that all
Made
went out
sense.
there.
It was a branding move. That was kind of their ace in the hole. They knew they could play.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked for like the longest time.
Yeah, they do. Like on the Kiss cruise. I've never been on one. This is the 11th one, and supposedly this is Kiss's last time being on the cruise. The Kiss cruise will continue, but this is the last time they'll actually play it. But they do like a few different performances. All the bands, us included, do a few different performances. But one of the ones that Kiss does is they do like an unmasked acoustic kind of in the round thing. So that'll be kind of cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
kind of an old MTV unplugged.
I guess. Yeah, I need to study up on more Kiss songs. I only know like the hits.
Well, if you can find them, if you on YouTube, they have MTV unplugged, and they sound really good on there.
Yeah, I haven't. Kiss did one. I haven't seen that. I
Yeah.
love the my favorite's the Alice in Chain ones for sure.
Oh, Alice in Chains and the Pearl Jam is pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains is what is the first time I ever saw any MTV Unplugged, so that was a cool one to see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lane was a big loss too.
yeah, that was when was that? 2000, was it 2000 something?
Yeah.
3 something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, the saddest fact about him, he's a big guy too, like 6'3", something like that. When they found his body, he was less than 80 pounds. Yeah, and they didn't find him for a few days. They found him because someone complained of like a smell. That's how they found out that he died. The neighbor in the apartment or something like that. I'm a little foggy on the details now, but called and was like, "There's weird smells coming from this part. Like, you gotta check this out." Like, and they found his body. He'd been dead, I think, for a few days. So
Oh wow. That's
yeah,
brutal.
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Can't have been a fun find for sure.
No. And then you wonder, like we're talking about the celebrity, like, some of these people you hear that they've actually got these pretty lonely lives because,
Oh yeah, you're so ostracized from society. You can't live society like a normal person.
no,
You
exactly.
try, you just get mobbed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at LA. I mean, the Globe, the National Enquirer, the Star, they
Yeah,
feed off, they they only live off the paparazzi.
yeah. We're obviously nowhere near any of that, but
Thank
um,
God.
we did experience just the tiniest little touch of how fast it can get out of control in Spain when our merch table was just mobbed with people. And it
Oh,
was and we were the only ones there. We didn't have a manager. No one was organizing anything. So it was just, nobody spoke English. It was all like, I was going back to high school Spanish, like haggling with Spaniards. It was really fun. It was really fun. And they were all really nice, but it was just like, I see how this could get just to the point where you have to just be like, nope, no more of this. We're shutting it down. No more merch table. No more meet and greet. Like
yeah.
you can't do it. And I had another run in with that. I played a gig with Duff McKagan a few years back. I'm really good friends with Bruce, his brother. And so through that, Duff came to town. We did this big benefit, and he was part of the benefit, and I was the guitar player for it. And we did like a big meet and greet before,
Right.
and we're all standing in line waiting, like us, the band and stuff are all standing together talking, and then they open the doors and it's just mobbed with people, and they all rush Duff all at once. And me and the
Oh,
violinist who was part of the gig as well, we kind of snuck around the side, and I was like, I don't want any part of that. So we got rid of that, and then we walked around for like an hour, came back because it was like a museum thing we were playing.
right.
Came back, Duff had not moved a foot. He was just standing there in the same exact place, just autograph, 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 autograph,
Oh
autograph,
my
just like
God.
it was. And then finally, like somebody had to be like, "All right, enough," and then they just shut the doors back, and it was just like, "Whew, Jesus Christ!" Like, like no shit, you can't go to Whole Foods, like you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I mean, I guess you could at some point, but it's still, you're not leaving your house without 10 people stopping you, and then that's just got to get so exhausting. By the 10th guy, you're just like, God, fuck, damn it, yes, thank you, love, yeah, Sweet Child of Mine, great song, thank you, like you know what I mean? And then that guy goes home, it's like, Duff's kind of a dick. It's like, no, you don't understand, man. Like, there's a lot more like that you didn't see leading up to that. So I totally try to give anyone the benefit of the doubt, unless they're just total dicks. But
Yeah.
and there are those too. So, but most
Yeah.
of the
It's
time, I
like,
think we're all just people. So you put any one of us in his exact situation, we'd probably react way worse. He's probably better than us. So try to give him the benefit of the doubt.
yeah, he's probably like, dude, I'm just going out for a pack of smokes. Like,
Yeah,
leave me alone.
yeah. Just trying to like do one thing in peace. Just
Yeah.
one thing.
Can I have that, please?
Yeah, it's like parents with young kids. They're just like, "Can I just have 1 minute, like,
Right.
where you guys just don't exist for just 1 minute, and
Yeah.
then come back?" Like, it's probably the same thing, but just with every human being instead of just your couple kids. So
And people you don't have control over, and people you don't know how they're going to react if you just say, hey, can you give me my space? And you
and
don't.
we've definitely I've definitely experienced this. People love to touch you. They
Oh.
love to touch you. They'll come up and grab your arms. I had some lady grab me from behind and like bear hug me.
Oh,
I'm like, this is
really?
yeah. I was just like, it's like, all right, come on, like let's have a little bit of like human respect here.
Right? That's a bit much. I didn't realize they were obsessive like that.
Yeah, and most people are fine, but you always get some weird ones for sure,
Yeah, and there's
especially when they're all drunk. Yeah, which is most of the case most of the time.
what she do, just say, oh, you're so cute.
No, she can't. We were playing like just a cover show, we had just done the Prince. I do 3 Prince songs that I sing, and then that's kind of a little section to give Goliath a break. This would have been like 2019, I think, and the place we were playing is like super packed, and we're just playing on the floor.
Right.
So we had just this divider, and I finished the song, turn around to tune. I'm tuning on my amp or whatever, and I just feel her just like hug me from behind, and she's just in my ear, just alcohol breath, just goes, "That was awesome." I was just like, "Thank you." Like, please get off. We have people show up on stage, like just some drunk girl gets up on stage, grabs the mic, and then dropped the mic and broke our microphone. We had that happen one time.
Jeez.
Yeah, just we had all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, so it's so
Wow.
crazy. Yeah,
And you guys aren't even in that pinnacle yet. You're not into that
not at
star
all.
space
No,
yet. Yeah.
no, not at all. So we'll see. I don't personally care anything for fame, I don't think, but Making a little money would be nice. We'll see
Well,
if we can
maybe
keep
you
it up.
guys will hit that pinnacle with the next album. Because sometimes
Yeah,
albums,
I think for us, it's probably not going to be, one moment or one song or one, lightning bolt. It's probably going to be just a big steady climb where 5 albums in, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, these guys are pretty good," So, but in the meantime, we're independent, and I really enjoy not being told what to do. So that's fun.
yeah, I can appreciate that as as an artist. You want to have that will to explore what
Yeah,
you've got going on.
we've had labels approach us, and we've turned them all down so far.
Oh,
So yeah, it's not like we're starving. Like we want to maintain that control because a lot of people don't know this. The only thing you have to negotiate with a record label that they want is the ownership to your songs.
mhm.
So anyone with a record label deal, unless you're Metallica now signing your new album deal, like they're gonna own your music. Like all the songs, all these famous people you see, all these superstars, they don't
Yeah.
own their own music. They just don't, unless they've gotten rich enough to buy it back, like Aerosmith
Well,
did or somebody did. Forget who, but
well, that
that's rare.
happened. That happened with the Beatles.
Yep.
Apple owned all their music. They found out too late, and then Michael Jackson bought all the rights to all their songs, and then he passed, so everything was up in the air. And Paul McCartney and Yoko got a lot of the songs back, but
And the Beatles are back on iTunes now. So
yeah,
yeah,
and that's the sad thing is, here he is. He's the one who wrote the majority of those hits, along with John, who's no longer here. But he has to buy his own music back. Like that's so sad.
it is sad. And you hear some cases about like the Taylor Swift thing, but then you also realize,
Yes.
well, you signed this contract. You read this contract, decided yes, that's a fair deal, and you signed it. If you didn't think that was a fair deal, you should never have signed it. And I understand. So I understand kind of the emotional argument of like, well, I wrote the song, man. But you gave it to me. So like,
Yeah.
if you buy my MacBook, you don't get to walk back later and be like, man, it was mine. Like I bought it from the store, man. Like it's like, no, dude, you sold it to me. It's mine now. Like so, I
Yeah.
understand both sides of that story. But unfortunately, the law only sees one. You signed this contract. This is how it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you wanted it to be different, you should have maybe signed a different contract or negotiated better or not signed any contract or something. So that's what we're kind of scared of. So as soon as that concept of ownership comes up, we're like, nah, we're good. So then you have new bands like Periphery coming out, and they did the same thing we're doing. They're our inspiration. They're much further along than us. Metal bands, really, really cool stuff. And they decided they were going to be independent, do their own thing, and then they got big, making good money.
Right.
To the point the record labels were approaching them, and they said, "No, we're not doing that." So what we will do though is what you can do as a licensing deal. You basically rent your music to a label, and then they can work out some things like that, but they never get ownership. So you can license it to a label and do it that way, and that's probably hopefully what we'll end up doing at some point if we get to that point. You never know. It's all about the right deal though. So it's not that we're for or against labels. We just want a good deal.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. And most
Or
of the
you're
deals now,
protected too.
especially at our level, are going to be shit deals. That's just how it is because we don't bring a lot of money to their table.
Right.
So why would they give us a good deal? So we're not so dumb to, it's not about like, oh, we're so good, man. Come on. It's like, no, dude, how much money can you give me? Like, I don't care if you're good. I don't care if you're bad. I just want the money. So
Yeah.
and that's how it is with all businesses. And that's a whole other tangent with the corporations and the woke stuff and all that, as far as like they don't care. It's just like what's going to make us the most money. I'm not on any side except money's side. Like
Yeah.
if
Well,
everything's
that's why
woke,
they.
we'll be woke. If everything's conservative, then we'll be conservative wherever the money is. Like I don't care.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's
right
why they
now,
call it the music business and the film business, or
yeah,
the film industry.
yep.
Is because it is about the bottom line.
Yeah, and once you realize that, you can sit there and complain, or you can just start playing the game. So
Yeah.
we're trying to just play the game. We're not trying to sit here and complain and oh man, nobody's buying albums. It's not like it used to be. It's like I don't care. There's other ways to win now. Let's find those ways.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going to complain, but we're not. We're going to be one of those bands that's trying to find new ways to win. Everybody complains Spotify doesn't pay enough. Spotify pays a lot more than people think, and they don't realize that. It's just different, and people don't think about it the way that it is. Right? If I buy the Black Crowes' first album, which I did at Best Buy, and I played it until it stopped working. I played those songs so many times, and the Black Crowes if they made 100% of that album sale, they made $10. If I did that same thing on Spotify now, they would have made a lot more money off of me than those
Right.
$10.
Right.
And they didn't even make those 10 because you got Best Buy, you got label, you got all this stuff. They probably made like $3. So it's like, yeah. So with Spotify, you get paid every time you listen to a song,
Yeah.
not every time you buy a CD. So what that does is it ends up turning it on its head, and it pays you more if you have a hit, right? If you have a song that everybody wants to put on repeat, and it's the song of the summer, and everybody's playing it 10,000 times, and you're walking around going like, God damn it, this song again? Like, then you're making money. Where
Like
it
the
wasn't
weekend.
necessarily, yeah, exactly. It wasn't necessarily the same with album sales and stuff. It's just a different way of doing it. So people love to resist change, but we're trying to do kind of the opposite. So
Well, yeah, you got to be innovative in today's world, right? For music,
yeah, for
you
sure.
gotta you gotta find different ways to get your stuff out there.
Yep.
But I mean, you're getting it out there too because you're going to be on the Kiss cruise, so you're gonna get a whole different lineup of fans. You know, you're
Oh,
gonna
and this is cool. I didn't even mention this. We're playing the Whiskey the night before the Kiss Cruise
the Whiskey
with
a Go Go.
yeah, with Power Man 5000.
Oh
And
wow,
and that was really cool because that's such a legendary venue. So we're all like
yeah.
equally stoked about that. So that's pretty
Well,
cool, man.
and
Yeah.
Power Man 5000, they've been around a long time too.
Yeah, cool band. I don't even know honestly how much of their set we're gonna get to see because we have to jet across town to the hotel and get ready for the cruise. But
Oh,
it's just gonna be cool. We're flying in the night before of the Whiskey. We're gonna get to see some of the strip because I've never been to the Hollywood, the famous part of LA. I've only been to like Anaheim and other stuff.
right,
So it'll be fun to kind of see those sites and then play a gig and then pack up and we got to roll. So we're always moving. It's tough. We have people try to. We wrote a song about it actually. We people try to hang out with us and stuff on the road, and it's like, dude, we got to go, man. Like we don't stick in any one place for long. It's tough to pin us down when we're traveling for sure.
right.
So, but it's fun. We have fun.
Sounds like it. You guys have a really good attitude about the whole thing, and you know, and that's what's going to keep you. That's what's going to keep you in your longevity is the right attitude.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. And another thing that we don't take for granted at all, and we actively try to pursue. We got really good advice, I think, from our friend Rob McDermott, who's a manager in the business, managed Lincoln Park and all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
But
okay.
he was kind of advising us early on, and one thing he told to me that I then relayed to the guys that we live by every day is you need to murder on stage and be the most badass, crazy, amazing band anyone's ever seen. And then off stage, you have to be the coolest, chillest, most accessible, easygoing guy. And you do those two things, and you will win. And so we try to do that really hard. We go hard on stage. I chipped a tooth. We've thrown our necks and backs and shit. We call it gig neck. The day after you wake up and you feel like you've been hit by a truck. That's how hard we go on stage. And then off stage, we're super chill, quiet, soft spoken. Well, quiet probably not so much, but yeah, we're always joking and talking with fans, and then happy to talk as long as people want, and sign whatever they want, get them whatever they want, help them out however we can. So we're always there, and we've been the only band there a lot of times. All the other bands leave and they're sitting in their van or whatever, and we're the only ones there, just soaking up all the fans. So we love doing that for sure, and it's worked really well so far. So Rob, thank you.
That's great. I always like to hear those kind of stories.
Yeah, plenty of bands do the first part. Not a lot of bands do the second part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Speaking of gig neck, I wonder how Angus Young how many times he's got to go to the chiropractor.
I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty rough. Although I guess you probably get pretty strong. It
I
probably
would
hurts
imagine
less.
he's probably got one of the strongest necks in the industry.
Yeah, he's a tiny little guy too. Doesn't have to hold up so much weight.
True.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that SG is not a big guitar, and on him it looks gigantic. So it's like
Well,
he's so
yeah,
small. Yeah.
because he's still doing the schoolboy outfit thing.
Yep. Yeah. Nobody told him he should have stopped that a long time ago, I think.
Who would want to be the person though to tell
I
Angus
know.
that?
Like, hey man, maybe at 70 we stop.
Yeah, he'd probably have some choice words about that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
My gimmick, it's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's funny. Yeah, but obviously great legendary band. So many like bands they've influenced for sure.
Yeah.
They have like the AC/DC clone is like a band. Like there's a lot of them. Like it's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
So we tried I didn't try. We just aren't that. I don't think so. When people say we sound like ACDC, I don't really agree. So, and I have enough evidence to point to be like, I don't agree here. I don't agree here. I don't agree here. I don't agree on these full tracks. I don't agree. Like so. We have a
I
lot
only
of
heard it in that opening of
yeah
Mr. Danger, and then
yeah.
it was like it went totally sideways, and it became a totally different song.
There's little elements. There's
It's just an
elements of
opening
guns. Yeah.
riff that doesn't say, "Oh, ACDC ripoff." It just like it
Yeah.
catches your ear because you're like, "Oh, that kind of sounds familiar," but then the song goes off on its own,
Yeah.
and you're like,
I always say we want to be familiar enough to reel you in and unique enough to keep you there so you stay, right? Because if we're too familiar, then you listen in and you're like, I've heard that next. But if we're too unique, then you listen to it, you're like, what the fuck is that? And next. So we want to kind of be the best of both worlds. Like we're familiar enough that you're like, what's that? Okay. And then unique, oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, these guys are good. We want those kind of reactions. And we've gotten a lot of those. So we kind of try. It's not even really a conscious thing where we sit down and we're like, okay, this is AC/DC riff, so now we got to go. Like sometimes it just kind of happens.
yeah.
So it's what we think sounds good and stuff like that. So
Well, I think it's great, and I look forward to what you guys do next. What you may be thinking, maybe the spring, early summer for
as
the
far as
next
the
one.
album, I don't know because since we live in a singles world, we'll probably release most of them as singles
Oh, okay,
before we release the album. So those will be every probably 6 to 8 weeks, hopefully.
okay.
So we'll just steadily pump out a stream of new music, and unless some people smarter than me decide that we should do better. So we'll see.
All right. Well, is there anything you'd like to add to the?
Yeah, just check out lamaybe.com. That's where you can keep up with us. That's our hub. There's merch, tour dates, all kinds of cool stuff. We have a ton of merch on there. So if you want to support the band, that's probably the best way to do it. And yeah, we'll see you out on the road for sure. In Vancouver as soon as we can. We
I
got to
look
go.
forward.
We got to go probably 5,000 miles, but we'll make it happen.
Well, if you do, I'll be looking forward to it, and love to see you guys live.
Awesome,
Meet you
man.
guys
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we'd love to.
Yeah. All right. All the best to you. Have a safe trip to the Kiss Cruise and back to Europe, and
Yes, sir.
have a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we'll talk again, I'm sure, when more music's released.
Sure. Sounds
All right,
good.
man. Appreciate
Okay.
it. Have a good one.
You too.